Hello, this is Katie. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if it's your first time. We're going to be going through some Copic combos. I have to replace one of them because I do not have YR18 from Crafty Crow Designs. Her name is Marcia. I believe I said that correctly. I'm going to link down below her Copic guide that you can sign up for email subscription and get a copy of for free. And then I have stamped these images, and I realized that the rainbow and the stars are probably something I'm not going to color in with one color combo, but at the end we will color all the stars on the purple card with all the color combos. So the first stamp, the heart balloon, I got from the Scent with Love add-on. These are all Lawn Fawn stamps. The little cell phone I got from Love Letters. The cereal bowl from the new Seriously Awesome mini set from the newest release. And then the stars from Simply Celebrate. And the rainbow is from All the Clouds. And then the scooter is from Scootin' By, which I don't think I've even used yet. And the bigger balloon is from Really High Five. And then we have the little smoothie from So Smooth. So that's going to be fun to color, lots of different colors. I've stamped all these with Memento Tuxedo Black ink, so it dries quickly and I can do blending without having to wait days for it to dry. So we are going to do the first combo. For the reds, she has 4 reds. So from darkest to lightest, the idea is that you could go use the first 3, because I'm only going to use 3 color combos. You can use R29, R24, and R22, or R24, R22, and R20. So you pick from left to right the 3 or the last 3. So I'm going to start with the darker end combo with R29, and then R24. And I don't always show you every marker right before I use it because I am showing you the list before, so I didn't think to also show each marker number. And this is R22. But you will see the list before I go through them. So on the combos where there are 4 that she listed, which are the red one and the green one, I believe. Every other one only has 3. So orange, yellow, orange, yellow, the blue, teal, the purple, and the pink only have 3. But the ones that have 4, the red and the green, I'm going to do like a few images of each blend. So for this one, I'm starting with a few of the darkest, or the darker side of the blend. And I think for the, so for the next one, I'm going to start on R24. So we're leaving off R29. And I'm going to do the cereal bowl. And I do think, even though it's a bit pinky red, I do like the lighter combo better. Because it is still red, it's just kind of a lighter red. Because even though the color is R20, it's leaning towards pink on that lightest one. So I'm going to do the light combo on the smoothie as well. Keep in mind that even though I've been coloring a long time, my blending is not that great. I'm not very patient, so I don't have the patience of, if you follow on Instagram, Lo Shakerato Alberto is his Instagram handle. I think it's Alberto, I believe is his name. He spends lots of time blending and it looks amazing. I just don't have that kind of patience. It's not something I prefer to master, at least not right now. So some of these blends may not look very good, but it could be because that I'm not very good at blending. So keep that in mind. One of the things I did like about these blends is that it kind of challenged me because I really just pulled from her list what I had, except for the YR18 for the orange. I only had YR16. And that was the only one I didn't have. It did challenge me because the light colors, or the lighter end of the spectrum, some of them were very, very light and something I probably wouldn't have grabbed for in a combo. So that was really interesting to see how some of those turned out. For the balloon, there are, I believe, 2 towards the end where I will do a circular instead of the way I colored it. I'm really trying to get these to focus. My camera was being annoying. So these 3, I think, are my favorite of the red combo. So leaving R29 off of it. I think the dark red is also good, but I was really liking that light blend. But the two bigger balloons towards the end, I think the last 2 colors or 3 colors, I do a circular blend. So dark around the outside and then lighter towards the middle, rather than how I do them here, like from left to right. And I do think I prefer the circular blend on the balloon. So I might color them that way from now on. It's a little more fun to color, but it also, I think, looks more natural. Like if you're looking at a balloon, the lightest might be, you know, eye level, you looking at the center. I really, really like this orange blend. I was worried that the lightest color would be too light or too yellow, I thought. But I really, really like it for an orange blend. I've really been loving YR15 as a color. I was using it a lot for Halloween. And then on this one, my blending is just questionable because I'm not thinking that I'm remembering that I have to blend 3 colors in here, so I'm laying down too much of the darkest, for example. But you get the idea. So I believe I'm using YR16, YR15, and then I can't remember the lightest orange, but it was on that list. I apologize. But also it's definitely on her guide. So I recommend, it's also a very pretty guide. So I would recommend downloading it with the link down below just to see. You'll put in your email and then you'll get an email right away. And then in that email, there's a button that just says confirm subscription. And if you click that, it just goes right to the file itself. Then you can download it and save it on your phone or on your computer just to have as a reference. You could even put it up on your wall in your craft room. To help you remember if you like them. You can also create your own chart. I took the light bulb from You Turn Me On, the mini set from Lawn Fawn, and I stamped a bunch of light bulbs on one page. And I was coming up with like favorite Copic combos, but I think I was trying to rush it, and I'm not sure that I really loved the combos. I was just trying to make a chart so I could reference it and use my Copics more often. So that's another way you can do it as long as you're actually filling in combos you like. So for yellow, we're going to be using Y18, Y13, and Y11. And these worked really well. I was worried the Y18 was going to be too dark of a yellow. I think it worked out well as long as you spend enough time blending between Y18 and Y13, because there is just kind of a stark contrast. And then Y13 is pretty close to Y11. I was almost even worried that Y11 appeared even a little bit darker than Y13. It could be that my markers need re-inking. I was sad to find, I think at least like 1 or 2 that were a little dry. There are a couple in here where I only have the square barrel ones because they were gifted to me. Someone had duplicates and gave them to me. I wouldn't buy a square barrel because it doesn't have the brush tip. It only has like a nib and the broad end. But I'm also on no buy, so I can't buy refills. I would consider Copic marker refills as, I don't know. I think I'd really have to go through, and if I'm using one and it is really dry, I might consider that a necessity, like a Copic refill, because necessities are okay. I did say, you know, cardstock and like adhesive were okay. Let me know how you feel about Copic refills being a necessity on a no-buy down below. Maybe I'll think about it. But really, the markers were given to me, and I don't know how much ink was in them when I got them. And they are just a little bit dry, but honestly, for those two, I would buy new markers because I don't like the square barrel. So for the green, we have those 4 combos or colors. So just like the reds, we're going to do the darker side and then the lighter 3. So out of the 4, the first 3 and then the last 3. And I think I decided I liked the lighter combo here as well. So on the reds, I preferred the lighter end of the spectrum, and on these greens, I will as well. So for the 2 square barrel markers, it's one of the teal ones and one of the pink ones at the very end. I would be purchasing a new marker that would have a brush tip, like a Chow. It would be relatively cheap. So if I can consider replacing it with the marker I prefer because it is dried out, I could still consider that a necessity. And I think even the refill and a Chow marker, like I think a Chow marker is cheaper. I think the refill costs more than the marker. So that would actually be the smart way to go. And I really prefer the Chows anyway. I don't know why I have so many sketch. It's probably because the color I wanted wasn't available in a Chow, because otherwise I prefer the round, smaller ones, even though I know they have less ink in them. There were stores I would go to, like Michael's doesn't have Chow, they have sketch, and so that's where I was getting some of them. And that's why I have sketch and Chow, but only 2 square barrels, or a couple others, but 2 of these. Just the ones that were gifted to me. So I may decide to do that, but I do have plenty of alcohol markers that are not Copics I can also play with as well. So that's okay. My cat is trying to get in the room because I'm laying in her sunspot and she wants it, I think. She can come in. I guess not. That's okay. So for the green combo, so the 2 balloons have the dark green combo, and the cereal bowl and the bike have the lighter one. So I think I prefer the lighter one. I could probably work on blending the dark one a little bit more. But I think I like the lighter blend a little bit better. So I'm going to stop there for that one. I won't color in the little cell phone. So for this one is just the 3, BG13, BG11, and BG10. BG10 is the one that's a little dry, so I actually end up using the broad end because I think it has more ink over there, and it was a little bit easier to blend out. When I looked at the Copic blend on the guide down below, I was surprised that it was only teal blue, but I do love teal, so I do get, these are like her Copic blends for beginners, so if you need to buy only the number of markers you see on my desk, then these would be her preferred combos. She actually also has a gray combo, but it's a gray combo I always use, and a couple brown combos that I didn't feel like coloring. So there are at least 3 more combos that I'm not showing you here in the guide. So I do recommend downloading that. But I was surprised it wasn't like actual blues. It was more like teal blue, which is fine. If I had to pick and I only had to buy or was able to buy so many markers, I'd probably go for teal blue as well because I prefer teal. So I think it's a good suggestion. And I do really like these colors as well. So this is the first balloon, I believe, that I did in a circle, and I like how that looks much more. And honestly, I think that's how I see most people color them. I don't know why I think to just go from left to right every time I see a circle. So I think I'll try to do blending like this more often, especially on circle objects, whether it be a sun, a balloon, anything I come across that's round. That's big enough to actually blend colors inside of. I think that will look a lot better. And then on this one, you can use the broad end. You can also use the tip of the broad end. It's not that hard to color with. It's just a little wider than normal. But that side definitely had more ink than the other side. So I kind of had to use that one. And at the end, I do all the colors in the stars, not the rainbow, because the rainbow only has like 5 bands in it. Bands of a rainbow. Not enough for all the colors, so that's fine. This purple combo, I think I like it. Purples have always been pretty difficult for me, so I don't know if this is my favorite purple combo, but to be fair, I don't know what is. The purple in anything really is really difficult. Purple in Copics, I think even for them is really hard to make really good purples, because it's one of those colors you have to blend other colors, obviously, to get to. In watercolor, it's really hard for me. I do have a favorite palette that has a couple really good purples. And I love adding purple to green to make it like a deeper sagey color kind of thing. But I've kind of always struggled with purple blends. I think on the round balloon, it looks really good. Maybe on the heart balloon, I think the lightest color, since it's like VOOO, is very light, is kind of hard for me to blend. Also, my blending skills probably aren't helping on a blend like this with such a light last color. But I do like it. I think I'll use this as a go-to until I can sort out a purple combo that I prefer more. But for a beginner combo, I think it works really well. And sometimes you just have to keep blending, which is why you need a really good ink, really good paper. I mean, I'm only using Michael's 110 pound, I think it's like Recollections brand, but I think that's their brand. But the 110 pound paper I get at Michael's cardstock. I'm not using anything special. I do have some Nina cardstock. I think I have like 25 pieces of it I bought years ago, but I haven't been able to bring myself to use it for anything. But maybe I'll test it for coloring when I want to try blending a lot to get those colors to really work well. So the last one is going to be RV 14, 13, and 11. And I'm surprised I didn't already have RV 11. That's the one that was gifted to me, and I think had plenty of ink. It actually had more ink on the nib end, so that's the one I should have used at the beginning. But I do realize that and end up using it for the rest of it. I actually really, really like this combo. RV 14 is really bright. It's a lot brighter than I remember it being. But the other two blend with it really well. RV 14 and RV 13 have always blended, like, since day one. I think these are probably a couple of the first Copics I bought were 14 and 13. And those two blend really well together, and I think the RV 11 blends in with them just fine. And also, again, I did the circle balloon blending. I hope to eventually use some of these for birthday cards, because I really need to catch up on them, and I am very, very behind on birthday cards. So there's the RV 11, and at first, I think the broad end doesn't have enough ink in it. At first, I thought the lightest pink, the RV 11, would be like a little too, like a dusty pink compared to the others are kind of bright. But I think they ended up blending out really nicely. And I think I go over the balloon again because I realized that maybe I didn't. The end I was using didn't have as much ink. So now on the purple card, only because the stars were stamped the neatest out of the stack I could find, I'm going to be doing all of the blends, and I'll show you each marker as I go through. So on the red and the green, I'm using my favorite 3-color blend out of the 4 markers. And then all the other ones are only 3, so we're basically just going through a review of all of the colors. YR16, YR15, love this color. And then YR21, which was one of my newer Copics I've bought most recently at some point last year. Y18, Y13, just a little extra blending to make sure they go together, and then Y11. And then for the green, I'll leave off the darkest and start with YG17. And they were out of order, YG13. I kept scooting my markers, and so they were bunching up and falling out of order. YG01, which I wasn't reaching for that often, so I'm really glad that I found this color combo as well. And then our teal blue with BG13 and BG11 and BG10, which I may or may not replace with a Copic Chow. I also do have $150 to Doodlebug's Wah, Washington, my favorite store. So if she has these 2 colors in stock, I may get them from her with whatever next release I absolutely have to have. I'm saving my gift card money for probably the next Lawn Fawn release. I didn't absolutely need anything from a couple releases that just happened recently. But I wanted them, so I am including them in my video of things I would have bought, because I would have just been shopping freely. Anyway, those are our combos. I will link the guide down below, and yeah, go support her, download that guide, and enjoy. And thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.